We have head strength and conditioning coach Tim Herman here. Tim, can you just talk us through the process of how the fueling stations came about?
Well, it really came from our student athletes. When Dan got here, he sent out a poll, a survey of our student athletes, and asked them what are we missing? What is the thing that we need that will help us immediately right away? And it came back resounding: nutrition. And what we're providing for our student athletes. And it was born out of that thought process and from our student athletes. From there, we started the process of how are we going to offer more to our student athletes to help provide them the nutritional needs that they need. Not necessarily full meals yet, but how can we bridge the gap? How can we help them navigate their day and their schedules and making sure that they get the proper fueling that they need to perform on the court, but in the classroom as well too.
4 of these set up throughout the athletic facilities on campus. What does it take to kind of keep these things going, and what's the feedback been so far?
It takes a lot to keep them going. Our athletes are hungry and they eat. So it's kind of a 24/7 monitoring process by myself and my staff with help of our athletic trainers as well too, and other people that are on site where our refueling stations are at. Because we have them at Lawson, Sealy, here at Reed, and then also at football. So we're constantly filling them because there is a constant need for nutrition, and our student athletes are utilizing them quite heavily. The response from the student athletes have been great. It has obviously been an uptick in what we used to provide. We were at a grab-and-go snack option, and now it's much more full-fledged meals, the availability to provide a more solid meal at breakfast, at lunch, at dinner, and grab-and-go meals at that. So we've definitely upped the ante from what we're providing for the student athletes, and we've heard nothing but positive things as far as the feedback goes as to what they're getting.
Very generous donation by Stafford and Smith here to get the project rolling with all the equipment. I mean, it looks like a restaurant kitchen back there sometimes.
It pretty much is, and we couldn't be more grateful for Stafford Smith and what they provided for us. And we wouldn't have been able to do it at the level that we're doing right now without them and the generous donation that they gave. And it's very much appreciated from student athlete to staff, administration, everybody sincerely appreciates that donation and what it's been able to do for our student athletes.
With all the feedback, what's the item that flies off the shelf the quickest?
Our meals. We use a company called Metabolic Meals, and they are pretty much full-fledged meals, grab and go, pop it in the microwave, and in a minute and a half, 2 minutes, you've got dinner, lunch, breakfast right at your hands. They love them, and it provides variety too. So those absolutely fly. Having the availability to make protein and smoothie shakes for the student athletes has been a very popular thing as well too, having that luxury.
What has been the response from the student athletes on the refueling station so far?
Yeah, I think it's been really appreciative of just the station in general. I think that we had some snacks before in our weight room, but I think just having this as a go-to between classes or after lift or before, I think it's been really beneficial, and we're very grateful for it.
How does this enhance the student athlete experience here at Western Michigan?
Yeah, for me personally, I run from class to class to class on at least 2 days of the week. So being able to come up here and just kind of grab something quick so I'm not going until 3 p.m. without food for my practice is really awesome. I think just in general too, like before practices and lifts here, I think a lot of people are prone to skipping breakfast, which is totally not a good move. So I think that being able to come up here and grab something quick has been really beneficial to just our health in general and our performance.
What has been the response from SAC when these plans were announced for the refueling station?
Yeah, I think we weren't really sure if it was possible because I know, you can't just have everything you want. It was always something we wanted to do, like have smoothies, have meals like we can take for dinner and take home and stuff. And we weren't really sure if it was possible, but when we brought it up and they kind of made it happen so quickly and they worked so hard for it, we were just really, really appreciative of the administration who made it happen for us. So.
And I knew you probably knew this question was coming, but what's your favorite thing to eat or drink or both or all of the above?
Yep, mine would probably be I make a toasted peanut butter and jelly. Haven't had it since grade school. It's bringing back some memories, so that's something I usually do. And then I really do like to make a smoothie when I have time. The strawberry smoothie, that's definitely my favorite.
What has been the response from your teammates, yourself, and the rest of the student athletes here about the refueling station?
Yeah, they love it. I know I love it, and our team talk about it a lot. But it's been a huge advantage for us. I know there's been many times where beforehand where we'd go to class or coming from class and we didn't have food in our systems. We needed a quick snack, and beforehand we'd maybe have to go into practice hungry or maybe even a game if you didn't get kind of an energy bar or something, but now we have that advantage of getting a meal or something before, which I've used and most of my teammates have definitely used, and other athletes in the Sealy Center have definitely liked it a lot, and I've heard only positive things.
How has this enhanced the student athlete experience here at Western Michigan?
Yeah, so when I came in here, we didn't have it, obviously, and that was, it was obviously an interesting experience, but I think big shout out to Dan, the AD, who came in here and said he's going to make some changes, and this is a huge change. I can't tell you how grateful we all are. Every athlete in Sealy Center would back me up in saying that. Just having all these meals and being able to go, like if we're going to class right after practice, which most of us have to do, having these little meals, warm it up real quick and go to class, that's just second to none, and that's going to push us to where we need to be at a top program.
What's your favorite thing to eat or drink here in the refueling stations?
Definitely the smoothies. I got a special shout out to Connor Burkett. He definitely can make a mean smoothie, so definitely for him, yeah, smoothies.